Morning. So I thought it's about time I gave a quick introduction. So welcome to Greg's Farm Startup, where I'm going to be documenting my journey of turning this derelict, overgrown piece of land into a profitable market garden, small farm. So I'm actually 10 days in now, so this is all cleared, but you will see from some of the next videos coming through that it wasn't always that way, and there's still a lot of work to do. I've wanted to start a farm since I was a toddler really. Worked on farms since I was 13, 14, picking strawberries, cleaning out chicken sheds. I just absolutely love being outdoors and working with plants and animals. I studied agricultural business management at Newcastle University, and then I've done various jobs since then. I worked at a underground farm in London called Growing Underground, or Zero Carbon Farms. I've worked in the beef industry. I've worked in big commercial greenhouses growing cucumbers and tomatoes for Aldi and Lidl and things like that. But yeah, it's now time to start my own journey and see if I can support my family on 1 acre of land growing vegetables. So, welcome to the journey. Hope you enjoy it. Hi, good morning. We are on week 2, on the first day of week 2. And today all we're doing is raking up all these bramble sticks from all the strimming last week, get it in a wheelbarrow and pile it up into a little bonfire. But yeah, gonna be a fair bit of raking, get all this up, but we shall get cracking. See you soon. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory really. Little piles, get the piles in the barrow and then whack them on this big old other pile, which is going to be a wee bonfire. There we go. There we go. Bit cloudy today, still bright. Lots of birds cheeping away. So this is pretty terrifying, but obviously I've been clearing brambles, blackberries. That's all I've been banging on about. But look at this. Fresh, new shoots from the blackberry that I killed the other day. Wow. Wow. Nicht good, nicht good. I've only seen toads, but I've got a little froggy here. He's bouncing away from me. Absolutely scarpering. I've got really bored of raking, so I'm moving on to dismantling some of these old growing cages. So I'm going to try and keep all this chicken wire, because I can reuse that when I build my rabbit fence around the beds. Some of the posts I can reuse, but yeah, a lot of it's rotten really, as you can see, rotten posts. So yeah, that's all going to come out, and there's a few more cages that need to come out as well. Actually, let's just wobble these till there's enough leeway without snapping them to pull them out. Oh, there we go. Big hole. Whew. Another one, hoping for the best. Whew. More stuff for the bonfire pile. The size of some of these raspberries is insane. Absolutely stunning. Delicious. Absolutely stunning day. Making some progress, still lots to do. But yeah, looking good, I think. Looking good. You can see all the space we've got now pretty much. Polytunnel over there. Old pig paddock there. Entrance there. You can see fruit tree there, loads of plums. Apple tree. And we've got this paddock up here. That's cleared. Getting there, getting there. Right, today we have got this measuring wheel that I've got off Facebook Marketplace, and I've got the rough plan of the land. I'm basically going to mark out where exactly where all the fences are, where all the trees are, any features that we need to work around, so I know exactly where I can put the beds and polytunnels. So, pretty handy little wheel really. You can just reset it as so. Move it along. It tells you exactly how far you've gone. So that's what we're getting on with today, getting it all marked out. So I've given up on the measuring just because all the fence posts are out of line and it's just making it difficult to get it accurate. So I'm going to pull all the fence posts out and mark it up properly with rope and stakes, and then we'll get a more accurate plan in place. So yeah, cracking on with pulling all these fences out now. Yeah, a bit all over the shop today, but I'm gonna try and get this fence down, get this wire wrapped up so it can be used again. Yeah, just cracking on. Any progress is good progress, surely. So I'm trying to save as many of these fence posts as possible. We can rebuild some straighter fences, but yeah, some of them, as you can see here, are a little bit rotten and they've got dry rot and they're just snapping. So I don't know if we can use those to make little rabbit fences. They'll be a bit shorter, but yeah, going to try and reuse everything we can, make use of everything. Free resource and all that. We're getting a nice little pile of fence posts, keeping dry under the old pigsty to be reused. Still looks a mess, doesn't it? But yeah, what can you do? So just rolling up all this wire so we can reuse it. And as you can see, I'm building up a little wire collection area. Make use of all this. Right, we're on the 10th day of sorting all this land out for the market garden. Plan for the next few days is really just tidying things up. So I've still got a load of fences in that need taking out. See a fence down there. All this still needs clearing up. And then we've got some builder string. We're going to start marking out the areas where the beds are going to go, where the polytunnels are going to go, over there. And yeah, just generally tidying it up, getting organised, getting planning exactly what's going where, and we can work out the growing schedule. Yeah, a bit cloudy today, but nice to be outside again. I've taken a few days off, been painting the house, been visiting some friends down in Bristol. So yeah, it's good to be back on the land, getting sorted out after a nice little rest. So unfortunately this shrub here has got to go because we're gonna have some growing beds here and maybe a polytunnel. Don't want to waste anything, so I'm trying to use every little bit of it. So when I find suitable sticks here, I'm making building stakes, which is what I'm going to use to mark out where the beds and polytunnels are going to be with a bright rope. So I'm cutting a slight notch there, that should go straight into the ground with a hammer. The rope can go around that notch and we can have marked out areas for everything, polytunnels, beds, pathways, etc. So I'm making a stack of those here. I've got a fair few already. Better than buying them, they're quite expensive. And then anything a bit thicker, I'm stacking up in these lengths here in the polytunnels to dry out every year to season, and then I can use those in my wood burner at home. Yeah, there we go. So all I'm doing to make these building stakes, take a stick at the right measurement, put it on the wheelbarrow, cut it at an angle. Nice angle there. And I'm going to cut a little notch. So you can see it's the right angle to go in the ground, and it's got a small notch for the rope to go around. There we go. Stack of building stakes, saved myself a few £20 notes. Got some firewood there, and anything we don't need in that pile there. And that tree is nearly out of the way now, or bush or shrub, whatever you want to call it. There we go then.